long time ago in Persia, there lived a poor woodcutter by the name of Alibaba. His brother Qasim was a rich fellow, but he was a greedy one, selfish, and he wasn't about to help Alibaba. And though Alibaba's wife often complained about their poverty, they just went right on being poor, year in and year out. Year in and year out brought nothing but famine and drought. It was difficult for a poor man to endure, for each year it got more difficult to be poor.
Year in, year out, there is famine and drought. There is famine and drought, year in, year out. Year out, year in, the bread is sliced more thin. The bread is sliced more thin, year out, year in. It's difficult for a poor man to endure. For each year it's more difficult to be poor. Year in, year out, there is famine and drought. There is famine and drought, year in, year out.
But Alibaba always hoped for the best. At night he'd look up at the sky and he'd say, "That's my star up there, my own individual star. Someday fate'll change my state. I only have to wait."
Though I am poor, and poor I am sure, how sure I am, that fate'll change my state. I only have to wait. My own individual star, my own individual star. Though I'm poor as a mouse, there right over my house is my own individual star.
Well, one day, while he was out chopping wood in the forest, Alibaba saw a band of thieves riding swift horses approaching. Fearing for his life, Alibaba hid in a tree while the thieves, 40 of them, mind you, rode up to a big flat rock on the side of a mountain. 40 thieves, 40. Can you imagine? Just about twice as evil as 20 thieves could be. Oh, the crookedest bunch of thieves in history.
We're 40 thieves, 40, 40 thieves, 40. Twice as evil as 20 thieves could be. We plunder and we pillage a city or a village. Cutting throats is thus a specialty. We're 40 thieves, 40, 40 thieves, 40. The crookedest bunch of crooks in history. Crookedest bunch of crooks are we. 40 thieves, 40 are we.
Well, the chief thief galloped up and he called out,
"Open sesame, open sesame. Let your mighty hinges speak, let them groan and let them creak. Open sesame."
And to Alibaba's astonishment, the big rock opened up, and the 40 thieves disappeared inside the mountain. In a little bit, they came riding out again, and the big rock closed behind them as they galloped off into the forest. Now, being a curious man, Alibaba thought he'd try this strange password, see what happened. So he stepped up and he called,
"Open sesame, open sesame. Let your mighty hinges speak, let them groan and let them creak. Open sesame."
Lo and behold, the rock opened. And Alibaba entered to discover a dazzling sight. Before his eyes was a huge cave filled with caskets of jewels, barrels of money, trunks full of fine silks, and more silver and gold than Alibaba had ever dreamed about. Well, he promptly wrapped up a goodly supply of treasure in his poor, threadbare cloak, and he hurried home to his wife and son, who welcomed him and his treasure with open arms. And so Alibaba became a rich man. He built a fine house, he filled it with servants, and he dressed his wife and his son, and himself too, in the best of clothes. He was happy too, and he thanked his star. Alibaba explained his wealth to his son. He said, while money and wealth weren't all there was to happiness, good fortune is bound to come to anyone who has faith and hopes and keeps on hoping.
When I was poor, and poor I was sure, how sure I was, that fate would change my state. I only had to wait. And while I waited, I cogitated, and the goal didn't seem so far. I cogitated, and I concentrated on my own individual star. My own individual star. My own individual star. I was poor as a mouse, but right over my house was my own individual star. My own little piece of the sky. My own little piece of the sky. Had no food on my plate, but I had an estate in my own little piece of the sky. I envy no king his crown. I envy no miser his gold. As long as I look above the town to the heavens each night and behold my own individual star, my own individual star. Take my riches and I won't grieve. Take the honors I may achieve. Take whatever you wish, but leave my own individual star, my own individual star.
Well, now, Alibaba's rich brother, remember him, Kasim, who was as greedy as he was rich, he found out about Alibaba's new and mysterious fortune. Well, he was as jealous as he was anxious to discover where Alibaba found such wealth. So he said one day, Alibaba, this is all wrong. In every family, there can only be one rich brother.
In every family, there can only be one rich brother. In every family, instead of two or three, one rich brother. That's how it's always been. That's how it's got to be. How come, Brother Ollie, you're as rich and fat and jolly as me?
And old Kasim, he went ahead and he pestered his brother so much that Alibaba finally told him the secret of the 40 thieves and their cave, which was filled with treasure. Old Kasim rushed off through the forest to the big rock on the side of the mountain. Out of breath, he called,
Open sesame, open sesame. Let your mighty hinges speak. Let them groan and let them creak. Open sesame.